What if the northern lights never disappeared? Imagine a world where the sky never sleeps. Every night, waves of green, blue, and crimson light dance endlessly above our heads. But what if the northern lights never disappeared? What kind of world would we live in? Before we dive into this glowing alternate reality, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video to keep your curiosity alive. Now, let us travel into a world bathed in eternal auroras, where beauty hides both wonder and danger. Because when nature shines forever, the world beneath it will never be the same. At first, humanity would be mesmerized. The constant glow of the aurora would turn night into a living canvas, painting cities and forests with cosmic light. Every photograph, every night view would look like a dream. Tourism would explode across the Arctic. Countries like Norway, Canada, Finland, and Russia would become global centers for night sky travelers. Hotels, observatories, and luxury domes would rise beneath the dancing heavens. But soon, scientists would start asking the hard question: why did the aurora never fade? Normally, auroras appear when charged particles from the sun hit Earth's magnetic field. They're always on. It means the sun is constantly bombarding us. A never-ending aurora could mean Earth's magnetic field is under attack. That constant solar radiation would begin to interfere with satellites, power grids, and even aircraft navigation. The beauty above would hide chaos below. At night, the skies would be bright enough to read a book without a lamp. But this endless glow would disturb nocturnal animals that rely on darkness to hunt or sleep. Ecosystems in the Arctic would start to collapse slowly. Migratory birds would lose their sense of direction. Sea turtles, insects, and mammals that depend on starlight or the moon for guidance would become disoriented. The rhythm of nature would fade beneath the artificial daylight of the aurora. Humans would not escape the effect either. Our circadian rhythms, the internal clocks that tell us when to sleep, would be thrown into confusion. Insomnia would rise, followed by fatigue and mood disorders. Cities would try to adapt by creating dark zones using magnetic shields or artificial canopies. But even then, the shimmering light would leak through, a constant reminder that Earth's sky had changed forever. Farmers in high latitudes would notice their crops growing strangely. Plants need darkness for proper photosynthesis balance, and the continuous glow could disrupt that process. Food production might suffer in the long term. Some people would see it as a divine event. Religions and spiritual movements would rise, believing the aurora to be a heavenly sign or a cosmic messenger. Humanity's ancient fascination with the sky would be reborn. Meanwhile, physicists would search for scientific answers. Maybe the sun's magnetic field had merged with Earth's, creating a permanent flux. Or perhaps a change in our planet's core had intensified our magnetosphere. Governments would form international research alliances. Satellites would monitor solar activity 24/7, and space agencies would prepare for magnetic storms of unprecedented strength. The fate of modern communication would hang by a thread. The internet, GPS, and aviation systems could face frequent blackouts. Airplanes flying near polar routes might have to be rerouted permanently. Humanity's technological backbone would tremble under the glowing sky. But the auroras would not only be destructive, they would inspire. Artists, filmmakers, and musicians would create entire movements around the age of eternal light. The world would be living in its own cosmic art gallery. Architecture would evolve too. Buildings would use reflective glass to enhance the aurora's colors. City skylines would look like living crystals beneath a moving sea of light. Even the oceans would glow. The particles from solar winds could react with atmospheric gases near the sea, creating waves that shimmer like liquid emerald. The world would look like a fantasy planet, beautiful but fragile. However, the magnetic storm causing these lights could trigger something worse. Earth's poles might begin to shift more rapidly than ever before. If the magnetic field weakens, we could lose our shield against cosmic radiation. That would mean more ultraviolet rays reaching the surface. Skin cancer, DNA damage, and ecological mutations could rise drastically. The aurora would become both a blessing and a curse. Scientists might develop space-based shields, massive satellites that block excess solar wind. It would be humanity's first planetary defense project. Protecting beauty would become a matter of survival. In this glowing world, night and day would blur. Children would grow up never seeing a truly dark sky. The stars would fade behind the bright curtains of light, Constellations, once guides of sailors and dreamers, would vanish from memory. Astrology, astronomy, and navigation would all be redefined. Humanity would need new ways to measure and understand the heavens. Economies would adapt. Aurora tourism would become the new oil. Energy companies might even try to harness the electromagnetic flux for renewable power. But tampering with that much energy could have consequences. A single miscalculation could destabilize Earth's magnetic field further. The glow could expand beyond the poles, to every part of the world. Imagine standing in the tropics, seeing the aurora ripple above the equator. It would be breathtaking, but it would also mean Earth's magnetic poles are collapsing. The planet would be preparing for a massive shift. Compasses would spin uselessly. Airplanes, ships, and even smartphones would lose orientation. Global navigation would depend entirely on artificial satellites if they could survive the radiation. As the decades passed, humans might adapt biologically. Our eyes could evolve to handle the constant light or even perceive new colors. We might become a species designed for eternal twilight. Children born under the endless aurora would think darkness was a myth. Stories of black skies would sound like fairy tales from an ancient time. Humanity would forget what true night feels like. Yet, in the silence of this glowing world, some would long for darkness. They would build underground sanctuaries to see the stars again, tiny windows into the forgotten cosmos. Those places would become sacred. Pilgrims would travel across continents to sit in the dark, to remember what once was. Because sometimes we only appreciate light when we've known the dark. In the end, the eternal aurora would change everything. Our sleep, our science, our souls. It would unite humanity in wonder and fear, beauty and fragility. A symbol of both our progress and our vulnerability. So, what if the northern lights never disappeared? Maybe we'd learn that too much beauty can be dangerous. Or maybe we realize that the universe doesn't owes darkness. It only gives us light to understand who we truly are. And as you look at the real auroras that come and go, remember this. Their fading isn't a loss, it's mercy. Because if they never left, the world we know might never be the same again. Before you leave, hit like, subscribe, and share this video to keep the lights of curiosity shining. Till next time, may your nights be dark enough to dream.